Hey guys, good evening. Thyworm here with another video, and today I wanted to talk about the upcoming Path of Exile League, my approach to that league, and particularly my approach to the league start. Because I'm gonna try something that I've never really tried before, so that's the topic of today. So first off, I'm pretty excited about the league. I'm looking really forward to it. As with any league, I took a week off. It's also Easter, which is, I'm sure, not a coincidence from a GGG perspective. But here in the Netherlands, we have what we call second Easter day. I don't even know if there's an English term for that, but it is the second day of Easter. Everyone is off. It's a national holiday, so that Monday I'm already off, taking 4 more days off. So I effectively have about 10 days of mindless grinding, and I'm gonna spend those 10 days playing Path of Exile, the new league. But then, the question that is on every PoE player's mind is, what league starter am I going to play? Before, typically up until this point, I just went to Maxwell, I started watching my favorite content creators, and one way or another I picked a build that just looked very solid. Last league, for example, I played, and I'm still playing, SRS Guardian. I've played Toxic Rain Ballista from Pelstron. The SRS Guardian is from Subtractem. I've played Explosive Arrow Ballista from Crouching Tuna. There's a lot of starter builds, sort of tried and tested startup builds that I have played and that I had a lot of fun with, had a great time with, because I think for me the enjoyment so far in Path of Exile is mostly the content, and the build is kind of secondary, you know, as long as it is somewhat smooth, as long as it's like a sort of nice, interesting build to play, I'm okay with it. But more than that, I am also just enjoying the game for what it is. Heist, delve, betrayal. I like setting up those systems, and it's good to notice, because this is going to be important down the line of this story, is that I really enjoy and typically only play solo self-found, which is very vital. So this time I want to change things up a little bit, because this time I don't really want to follow a build guide anymore. I want to make something myself, ideally without spending hours in path of building, because I am not much of a theory crafter. I am much more someone who just starts a character and then basically have some sort of an idea of what I want to do, but really not that much of an idea what I want to do, and I just sort of take it as it goes. Now, this works wonders in a game like Last Epoch, Diablo 4, Torchlight Infinite. You can do this, you can respec fairly easily. It's all quite, you know, friendly to someone who doesn't do all the theory crafting up front. I'm going to be doing something like this as well in Path of Exile, knowing full well that this is not necessarily a good idea. Over the last couple of leagues, I have also tried in solo self-found come up with some builds of my own. Some have been a lot more successful than others, but the one sort of common denominator with my own builds is that they always feel pretty shitty compared to my league starter. And so my line of reasoning is like, well, you know, if I just don't start with an S tier league starter, but rather I start the league with my own build, which, I don't know, maybe B tier, maybe on a good day probably, then we're still fine, because I got nothing really to compare it to, and that is, I think, a state I would enjoy quite a bit. I really hope they introduce a few new skills that, you know, I can just make a choice based on that. If there's like, I don't know, 4 new skills introduced, I'm just gonna pick one of them. That's the plan. That is the first reason. Second reason why I can totally do this is because I'm playing solo self-found. And so there is no time pressure. There is no economy. I don't need to make any currency. I mean, I don't have any currency for respecking at the start either. But you know, it's never a thrown away character. I know that in time I will have the currency and I can make something out of the character even if I botch it the first time. That is completely fine. I also know I'm gonna be playing for hundreds of hours in this league either way. So that's another reason why I'm completely fine starting out probably fairly weak, but at least having fun in the process and hopefully learning a lot. And I know where to find things, right? So I'm pretty knowledgeable about the game and its mechanics. I am not very knowledgeable about creating builds, but I know where to find stuff. And so I will look at the wiki, at the interactions, at PoE Ninja for some inspiration. But hopefully I can start out on a greenfield scenario with a skill that's just new. I just feel that would be a pretty interesting way to go. So for me, it's gonna be a bit of a different approach, and maybe that's an approach that you would like as well. So that's why I'm making this video, and otherwise I'm getting some questions here and there, like what the plans are for the new league. So these are the plans for the new league. Make a league starter myself, and then, you know, later down the line, sort of transition into an actual great build, so that ultimately if I want to I can do all the content, but not from the get-go, and just have fun creating some builds. I might just try out a few characters, see what works, see what doesn't, maybe even make some videos, right, some sort of daily log, at least for the first couple of days, like, hey, this is the idea I came up with, maybe we can even do some stuff together. Because some of you know a lot more about building something in Path of Exile than me, and yeah, so give me some advice, you know. But that is going to be the approach, and I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I think this could be a very interesting, fun way to play the game. Guys, enjoy your evening, enjoy your week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.